Hi guys, welcome to Weird Futures podcast. I'm your host Bob Cheesy, and having a comic book discussion with my two friends, the Cube.
How do you do?
And Matt. And this issue we're gonna go over is the Clone Conspiracy, issue number 2, written by Dan Slott, but sounds too similar like Slut, so Dan Slott it is. And let's get right into it, guys. So the comic starts off in San Francisco with Kane running away from a group of zombie-like creatures, and he needs to get out of here. And the next you know, he's probably about to die, and then he wakes up from a dream. Take it from here, Matt.
All right. Let's. What the fuck? Let's get started. Okay, so like Bob Cheesy said, Kane wakes up from a dream and he's talking to an unknown character. We're not sure who exactly it is. We find out later in the comic, and then we jump over to New You, where we last left off with Spidey fighting Doc Ock. And it's here we kind of get some of the intentions. We find out what happened with Ock, like we told you in the past video, that he was portraying Superior Spider-Man, and after Spider-Verse, he kind of managed to get his way into a new body using New You. And that's where we enter the Jackal.
Yeah.
So the Jackal, from what we know, is Miles Warren, the former big guy of all the clone conspiracies. But there's something different about this guy. I think we were all talking about this before. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think this Jackal is? Because he obviously isn't this old guy.
It's come on, man. We know who it's gonna be. It's gonna be Peter. It's gonna be clone Peter.
What about Ben Reilly?
It could be Ben Reilly. Yeah.
It could be Ben. That's the only other option I can think is close, but it's gotta be somebody that looks either exactly like Peter or it's gonna be very similar to Peter. It's gonna be someone. I don't think they're gonna surprise us, but I think
because right here in this panel we have right here with Shelectra, Rhino, Shelectra, and Jackal. You know, we see his two clones. We see what he's looked like in the past. We get this old man with a mustache and glasses, and this guy clearly does not look like them. He has no mustache, and he's a little bit taller and little leaner. Has some stubble.
No, okay, so here's my thing also too. So he sees Warren, like we see the old man Warren, and then we see the Jackal.
Yeah.
So
they're clearly two different people.
Yeah.
We see two of them.
So who?
There's two of the old man Warren.
What's up?
There's just two of them, guys.
Yeah, there's two of them.
There's two of the old man Warren.
So the question is,
what
if
is it?
Warren made the Jackal, assuming that the old man Warren is the original. I don't know why it would be, but let's assume that. Then maybe Warren was like, oh man, I lost to Peter the first time, so what's the next best thing to do? Let me use Peter. So he makes a clone of Peter and makes him just as smart as Warren is.
Maybe, or I don't, we were talking about this before. I can't really come up with a theory of why Ben Reilly would want revenge on Peter, but maybe it's just Ben Reilly. I mean, think about it. Peter's smart, and Ben Reilly is Peter. They're technically the same people.
Yeah, so they should have the same, they wouldn't know the same things, but they have the same
level of intelligence.
Yeah, they have the same level of susceptibility to learning.
Well, if we want to go by technicalities, Ben shares everything that Peter has at the point where Warren Miles
including
made
wiener
it.
size. What?
So technically, he
Continue.
and including his uncircumcised penis, and therefore he would be just as smart as Peter.
Isn't
Parker.
Peter Jewish? Would he have an uncircumcised penis? No, I think he'd be circumcised, dude.
I thought he's Christian. When they have the funeral for him, it's in a Christian church.
Parker seems like a Jewish kind of name, though. And he grew up in Queens.
No,
yeah.
Goldstein seems like a Jewish kind of
is
name.
Queens.
Parker does not seem like a Jewish kind of name.
You know what else sounds like a Jewish kind of name? Cornbread. Let's move on.
Only a faggot would have that last name.
Right? Anywho, so, and then the tour, Warren starts telling Peter and consoling him, hey, do not be worried, I want to work with you.
I'm doing this for you. All the people,
I want to touch you.
All the things I'm doing, this cloning thing, I want you to be the one that's most okay with it, basically.
Well, he seems a lot more smooth this time around. I mean, shut up, I'm talking. He seems a lot more smooth this time, you know, he's in a suit,
Fucking
he's very suave. He's not suave, but he's very...
Yeah, he just...
I don't want to say even say empathetic. He just knows what he's saying. He knows the right words to try to like.
He's classy. He's
Yeah.
controlled.
Yeah. I like even the scene right here where Spider-Man's talking about his new look, and he's just kind of Anubis, jackal-headed god of life and death.
Yeah.
Tad melodramatic, but it gets more respect than Fuzzy Yoda and Espeedo. Like his personality is different.
Yeah.
There's something different about this guy.
You want to know what it is? That's a joke. That's a Peter joke right there about the helmet.
Yeah, right?
That is such.
Yeah,
that is such a little quip. It's a little quip that I know if Spider-Man like changed his mask, he would make a joke like that about.
All right, so let's jump on to the next part where the Jackal is basically described his intentions, and he brings Peter into what this area that is called the Underworld, and we're seeing all these old past villains of Spider-Man. So
Very ironic.
he basically
Underworld, Anubis mask. That's very. He's very.
That's very
taking that to
keck,
a very
yeah.
literal place.
and we see a very large cast of villains, characters that we haven't seen since some of them since like the early 70s. Yeah, 90s too.
70s to 90s.
They're all over
Yeah.
the place. It's
Yeah.
very.
All
it's a
over the
very
place.
Varying cast. So
So should we try and list off some of these characters here?
let's
or-
just give you a few. Just give them a few.
Do you want to? How about you, Cube? Why don't you list them off the way you were doing before, but just by how they look?
Oh, okay. So you got. Okay. So the thing is, I don't want to describe them by where they are in the picture because that does not work in an audio format. But so you got a handful. You got Mysterio. You got some of the goblins. You got who is that Kingpin's son? Which I forget his villainous name.
The Rose.
The Rose. There you go. You got the guy that looks like Galactus in a yellow sweater. You got the guy with the mask of a face, even though he still has I don't know if that's his face. The boss. What'd you guys say his name was? I'm sorry, one more time. Big Boss.
Big man.
Big
Big
man.
guy.
Big man. Big boss. Big boss.
Big
in
man.
Metal Gear.
Let's say Metal Gear.
Big dick. Okay.
Okay. You got so and then you got Jack o' Lantern back there. You got Spider Killer.
Killer.
Very, they didn't think too hard about that one. Spider Killer's very.
It's Dan Slut. What could I say?
So, we see a lot of characters that had very large stories in Peter's life now coming back, which does kind of two things for me in particular that we talked about this earlier yet again, is that it's cool to see them back. Number one, I love, I told you guys before I love Mysterio, so I love to see him back in the fray. But the thing is, it really reduces every comic that these people were killed in, or whatever happened to them in the comics. That emotional tie we had to that comic is pretty much gone now because these people are back.
Exactly. No, I mean, it's not even just his villains too. I mean, he brought back Gwen Stacy's father, Captain Jean DeWolf, Dr. Kafka. All these characters were very big players, and their death meant a lot to Spider-Man. And I kind of feel like Slott is just trampling over their legacy by bringing them back.
No, okay, so
I mean, for God's sakes, you guys, he trampled over the legacy he established with Doc Ock.
Exactly.
actually, now that I think
Come
about
on.
it, I got kind of an
Come
idea about why it might have been. Still riffing off the first theory that Jackal is Peter. It would make sense that maybe, or if it's Ben or whoever it might be, but I'm assuming like just a clone of Peter, that maybe he wants to not relive, but have all those connections that Peter had in his life. So he's bringing all these people back, and he's like, if I have all these people, I'll just be as good as Peter is. But
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
One way we could dispel our own theory about having the Jackal being Ben Reilly is that Peter has the sentiment that this is sick. How could you bring everybody back? And that is Peter does not agree with this. So if it was a clone of Peter who has his same exact mentality, he would not approve.
Yeah.
But think about it like this. Ben Reilly has been. We assumed he's been dead since the 90s, and Peter had that mentality. He doesn't want anyone else to die anymore. And so, what if Ben Reilly kind of
took it
warped
to the
from,
next step.
He's like, what? These people are dead. What if I can just bring them back? Like me, I'm a clone. Why can't I just
Yeah.
get them all back?
I mean-
but the thing is, it comes to the question of how he survived. But we've seen crazier.
Yeah,
People have come. The Hulk's back already. I mean,
They at least waited 40 years for some of these characters. The Hulk didn't even wait
Yeah.
a week.
No, he was back. I think the same week he died. So
Yeah.
you never know.
Exactly, but let's just moving on from the
Especially
villains, because Matt mentioned it before, but we also see that regular people in Peter's life are brought back. Jonah's wife, Jonah's other wife, Gwen's dad. So we see a lot of like players in Peter's personal life, not just his superhero life, coming back, which is kind of messed up.
Yeah, and how about we get to the next scene where we see them talking. We see all the personal, sociable people that have been brought back in Peter's life, and we see Captain Stacy kind of look at his daughter kind of funny, and he recognizes that it's not her. That was kind of bizarre. No,
and he just notices straight up. He sees her, and he's just like, "Nope, I know exactly you're not the Gwen."
Now, okay, we find out it's Spider-Gwen, or a Gwen Stacy of another universe masquerading as Gwen Stacy. But technically, genetically, she is the same person.
She is the same person. Like, she is a clone. Like that.
She's just from another Earth. So, I mean.
So what would be different about her? I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Come on, Dan Slut.
Wait, here we
Let's
go,
get
guys.
to it.
Here we go. I'm gonna read you the definition of clone. Okay.
All right. Here we go. Webster's.
No, that's too much. That's the science version. Propagate. An organism is cell as a clone of the hundreds of plants cloned. Propagate. Make an identical copy of. Replicate. An exact replication. Illegal copy of security codes. Obviously not. But basically, the verb definition is make an identical copy of. So if it's an identical copy of Gwen, how did her dad know?
What's the definition on Urban Dictionary? How about that? We'll try that one.
All right, let me get here. You guys keep talking. I'll look it up.
Yeah, but basically it continues on. She's like, okay, I'm not your dead daughter's clone, but let's get the hell out of here. I've been investigating on Scarlet Spider's orders. They basically.
But wait, we can't miss out the panel where we see her covering her junk after she busts herself out.
Okay, so definition of clone on Urban Dictionary:
nice little
somebody that looks like everyone else. And I'll read you the sentence. Man, that girl over there has straight blonde hair, flip flops, and a pink backpack. What a fucking clone.
There we go. That's straight up definition.
Yep.
We were talking about this earlier. Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man escape. They managed to escape this entire hideout filled with villains. And
large Spider-Man villains. So they should know how to deal with Spider-Man.
Yeah, we had Lizard, Doc Ock, Electra, Rhino, all those other villains. None of them were able to catch them. None of them were able to stop them.
And technically they're not just out yet, because now they're crawling through the innards of the New U building, and Lizard is now chasing them through the pipeworks, I guess.
Vents. Venting. Yeah, so at the end of this, we see Scarlet Spider. It's kind of funny because he's actually in a car. I just noticed that right now. Just a dude in a complete spandex suit is driving around in a car, and no one even notices that.
You'd think if you pulled up to a red next to a Scarlet Spider, you'd be like, oh, hey. But I guess not.
Yeah, so he meets up with the rest of the Horizon Labs group, and you find out that he kidnapped the original clone Gwen Stacy. That can get confusing.
Original clone Gwen Stacy.
Gwen Stacy, yep. But they're gonna
guys, just really quick before
that Miles Warren
let's
made.
Let's just make a list here. So we got clone Gwen Stacy, Gwenpool, Spider Gwen. It's just,
oh my god.
New U
Dead
Gwen.
Dead Gwen.
Like there's too many.
My body pillow of Gwen.
Gwen.
And my voodoo doll of
Gwen.
Nah.
And then a nice little fan service for you guys out there. There's that tied up Gwen on the back of the trunk. One of my fantasies lived out right there.
Web down and everything.
Kane,
just
Kane
the way
is
Bob
the man.
likes it.
Just the way.
Oh yeah, tied up, submissive.
In webs.
In webs.
Sticky.
And in webs, the best part.
So
okay, let's get to the big ending of the issue, where we find out the reason he doesn't want to go to Peter about this is apparently there's like a newspaper clipping of Parker Industries and New U working together.
Yeah.
Now this is the biggest thing. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
sorry,
but is that from the few? He says that's from a different world, right? That poster.
Yeah. Apparently, in all the other worlds he's been at, New U
and this is what's me saying that Jackal is the clone.
Is Peter.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
What better way to take over Parker Industries than literally just becoming Peter Parker? Like
yeah. I feel like it fits the theory. I feel like it fits the bill.
And the thing is, if you look in the pic, this is just me playing the cards. I'm sure everybody in this comic has brown eyes because they're lazy. But oh no, that guy doesn't. But if you look if you look at the poster, Peter has brown eyes, and if you go back and look at the Jackal's face through the mask, he also has brown eyes like Peter. Now I don't know if that means anything. That's just me bullshitting as well, but who knows?
All right.
Wait, maybe. Okay, wait. Here's an idea, guys. Ready? Dan Slott, excuse me. He loves to just play with inner dimensions and universes.
Welcome to the
God knows
Spider-Verse.
what, different Earths, right? What if this Peter Parker was from Kane's world, who went into this dimension to start?
That's not a bad idea. Now that you're thinking about it, because I mean, there's so many interdimensional shenanigans
Yeah.
in Marvel Comics. It could totally be that.
He could totally,
It could totally
do
do
that.
that.
It doesn't. And I know he wouldn't be afraid to do it. That's the thing, though.
That would be so lazy, though.
Yeah.
I would hate that. I would hate that if he did that.
It's not
But
even a new origin.
it wouldn't be the
like,
first time. It
it's-
wouldn't be the
thing
first
is,
time.
Dan
I don't know
Slott,
what
guys.
would be like. I don't know what I would like more: him from another place altogether, or him being a clone and just, or it being Ben or another clone and just thinking, "I'm Peter. I can bring these people back. Why don't I?"
Yeah.
Like, that's-
so.
Because the thing is, I feel like Peter's moral barometer is very strong. He has a very good idea of what's right from wrong. So if this is a clone of Peter and it doesn't have that moral compass, that takes it to like a whole nother level. But the thing is, he hasn't even used any. We haven't seen the Jackal fight, so we don't even know.
Yeah, that's gonna be something. Oh, I think we wrapped up this issue. How do you guys feel about this?
I feel like
I
we've
think
given our two cents.
overall, nothing really happens. Honestly, I'm thinking about it now. Nothing of significance happens except for the ending where we find out Peter might actually be a part of this plot.
Yeah, but I think the revival of all those people are really important, just because now, even if they don't get anything done in the clone conspiracy saga, we'll at least hopefully see them somewhere farther along down the line. Like I said, we see
However,
you know, we see clones of the goblins and stuff like that. And sure, it could be people that put on the mask, like
Not
you mentioned
not
them
the
before. Who are
Osborns
they?
or anything.
Who are they before? I'm sorry.
This,
I know one's Kingsley is probably the Hobgoblin,
Yeah.
and something Hamilton, Professor Hamilton. I want to say for the Green Goblin. I
but
could
like,
be
but
wrong.
you know what I mean. But like, let's assume
Yeah.
if they're clones, let's just take it to the max. What happens if it was a Norman clone and a Harry clone? Because and then let's get past the clone saga. Then you got
a
Norman.
whole bunch of other stories with
Yeah,
this.
then you
Yeah.
got Norman fighting Norman, and I would love to see them either work together or butt heads.
Green
because
Goblin
that would be-
showdown.
I don't know why. I'd really enjoy that.
place your bets.
But that could happen with
Yeah,
any of these
I-
characters.
I feel like that just pushes it though with the characters though. You know, it's just you're bringing back all these characters and it's kind of just trampling on their legacy personally. But you know, who knows? We don't know what the stories hold in the future. If you guys are interested, later this November, Amazing Spider-Man 21, Silk 14, and the Prowler 2 are also tie-ins for this event. But other than that, I think we're good.
Covered it just about well.
Yeah. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, whatever, just toss them down below. Hit that like button, and as always, please subscribe. We will see you guys next week.
Catch you guys later.